What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. This is the show where we talk about everything and anything Corvette related. So if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. This is, like I said, we're going to talk about everything Corvette, but tonight we got a lot of C8 ZR1 stuff to talk about. Yeah, so oddly enough, Professor Corvette, I appreciate you bringing it up, that he actually has a question about a C8 rally driver hatch supports and the install. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that in a second. But before we get into that, let's all admire real quickly the new emojis. I got some new emojis for you guys, the members of the channel. Again, guys, if you are interested in supporting the channel, you can join the memberships and you get access to these cool emojis down here. So yeah, and I'm going to consistently add new ones. So check those out. Plus, I already started filming some of my outtakes or, you know, behind the scenes kind of stuff that will only be available to the members of the channel. So check out the memberships, guys. You can get it for as low as $4.99 a month. Or if you want to go big and really help support the channel, I think the most expensive one is $24 a month. But either way, you guys know the drill. Before we get into too much of any of the news, we do have to thank our sponsor, which is, of course, National Corvette Museum right there. If you guys haven't checked out National Corvette Museum Insurance or NCM Insurance, check out the link in the description down below. If you click on that and then put in HPO or horsepower obsessed in step number 5, when it asks you how'd you hear about us, you'll actually save even more money on your insurance. The way that they work is basically they can insure any car. It doesn't have to be a Corvette. Any car that you drive, you know, kind of like a weekend warrior kind of car, that's the car they want to insure, and you can set the value of that car. So if you think your car is worth $100,000, you can insure it for $100,000. So definitely check out the link in the description down below, guys. Make sure you mention Horsepower Obsessed to save as much money as possible. It helps the channel, and it will help you. Professor Corvette says Mountain Dew is not a sponsor yet. They're not. They're not a sponsor yet. Maybe they are. They just don't know it yet. Maybe that's what we'll say. But for now, not a sponsor. Let's see. So we got a lot of the same names in here, guys. Obviously, Professor Corvette's in the house. Bill Miller. What's up, Bill? AARPM. He's traveling for work a little bit, but the destinations aren't bad. I agree. John Perkins. How you doing, John? KP. Lego. Look at that Mountain Dew. Yeah, guys, look at that Mountain Dew. All right, so let's get into a question that Professor Corvette asked here really quickly. He says, Justin, on the C8 Rally Driver's hatch brackets, when you do the install, does the hatch stay supported on one bracket while you replace the other one, or do you need to hoist it in place somehow? This is a great question. I actually found out the hard way that it will not stay in place. You need both struts in place or it will not hold the hatch up. Ask the back of my head how I know. Unfortunately, I wish I was joking, but I put it up there. I disconnected the one and the thing immediately fell. So don't do that. And actually, I believe it was John Perkins said the exact same thing that I did end up doing afterwards is I put a broom in there and used the broom stick end to hold the hatch up while I was replacing the struts. Or the, not the struts, the hatch supports. Now, why this is actually really interesting, and it's like Professor Corvette, it's like you're reading my mind, is because, wouldn't you know it, these are actually the giveaway item for tonight. So these are the hatch supports that Professor Corvette was talking about. I just talked to Keith over at C8RallyDriver.com. And he said, you know what, let's do a giveaway with these things. Now, these particular ones are just a display item. These are in edge red. Beautiful, beautiful. Actually, no, I'm sorry, these are anodized red. But they're pretty much edge red whenever it's all said and done. If you guys want to win these...
Are they able to get them painted whatever color they want?
They are. So that's the thing is these are just the demonstration set. If you actually want to win these, or if you do win them, I should say, you tell me what color you want, and that's the color that gets sent out. So you guys have been asking for a giveaway on the channel again. Here it is. These are the hatch supports. They're a little bit lighter weight. They're much cooler looking, and they'll fit any C8 coupe. So This won't fit the convertible, unfortunately, but if you guys want these, the giveaway is going to start tonight, and it's going to end next Monday night. So we're going to go with this pretty much the similar kind of rules that we did before. A donation of at least $50 will get you double donations, double entries, I should say. So every $10 donation is one entry. And if you donate 50 or more, it's double entries. So guys, first giveaway in months on the channel. Check it out. These things are really awesome. These retail for about $400. You can win them here tonight with a donation of $10. So start with the donations, guys. The link is pinned at the top of this chat. You want to use my Venmo, or you can use the super chat on the chat here on the YouTube. Doesn't matter to me. Either one will net you an entry for these guys right here. So let's win a set of hatch supports, guys. These things are really awesome. If you haven't seen them yet on my channel, I actually installed them on my my Z06, and they look fantastic. Yep. So Amber is here, guys. Say hi to Amber.
Where are we at here? Hello, everyone.
So let's see what we got. So we got 112 people watching, guys. Let's get those thumbs ups going. If you can, please smash the thumbs up. We like to hit 100 by 8 o'clock. And then 200 by 8:30 is the way to do it. In the meantime, we're going to talk about some ZR1 information. But if you guys are just now joining, this is what the giveaway is tonight. It is the hatch supports in any color you want. The ones that I have to show you here are the anodized red copy. But if you would like to grab a set of these, you can get whatever color you want. So all you got to do is donate $10. Every $10 donation is an entry. If you donate $50 or more, it's double entries. So, yeah. That's a great question. Professor Corvette says, does the manual warn you about holding up the hatch when installing? I don't know, because I didn't read the manual. Actually, I don't know if those come with a manual, to be honest with you. I don't think they do. Need a pair in CF, yeah. I'll tell you what, I was kind of hesitant at first to do a color, but after I did, I'm really, really glad that I did, because it really gives you a really nice showpiece for car shows. I'm going to see if I can pull up a picture here really quickly of my engine bay, because it really, really changed the way that that thing looks when you have the hatch popped. I did just have a picture of that somewhere. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. All right, so here's the picture of what mine looks like on my car. If you guys haven't seen these before, these things look really, really good. You pop your hatch at a car show, and people immediately, I mean, you should have, it was incredible how many people came up to me at Carlisle and asked me about these. They wanted to buy them right then and there, and I didn't actually have them until a little later in the show. But these things look incredible on the car. You guys, you can possibly win a $400 item for $10. So definitely consider donating to the channel. It helps the channel. Even if you don't win, it really helps out. So consider donating.
So Bryce Risher asked if we have driven a 1,000 horsepower car. If so, which one and what was it? You drove that. Didn't you drive a Tesla?
No, I didn't drive.
It was a Challenger. Wasn't it a Challenger?
Yeah. I drove a 1,300 horsepower, or no, it's 1,400 horsepower Challenger. I also drove a 1,000 horsepower GTR. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I thought
Nissan GTR was the Nissan GTR was exactly 1,000 horsepower. The Challenger was 1,400, and the Challenger was it was a fast, unbelievably fast car, but it was just built unreliably, so just constantly had issues with hitting the power on it. So
you never drove a Plaid?
I didn't drive a Plaid. I rode in a Plaid.
We all rode in a Plaid, but.
Brandon's Garage. What's up, Brandon? He says, I have the anodized blue ones, and he likes them. Yeah, they really do look cool. I mean, look at that picture on your screen, guys. It's incredible. So I have my phone up here, guys. If you guys are donating anything to Venmo, it's going to let me know. If you donate to even through the super chat here, I will know. And we'll get everybody entered in. These will be getting given away next week, next Monday night. And at that point, you choose what color you want, and it will be shipped directly from the manufacturer to you.
Professor Corvette says the 1,000 horsepower is the new 500 horsepower. So does that mean I got a thousand horsepower car then?
It sure seems like it. Nowadays, it's like nothing out of the ordinary to see a 1,000 horsepower car.
Hey, Joe Lamb.
All right, so Nate, right off the bat, I didn't even see Nate in here, but Nate is our first entry, so he donates $10. He will get one entry to win. Are you going to write that down?
Will we be giving these away tonight?
Tomorrow night, or next Monday night.
Next Monday? Okay.
Next
so
Monday.
Everything they donate tonight, though, it'll be good for next Monday.
That's right.
Okay.
So Nate is the first one to donate $10. Thanks, Nate. I don't know how you're even donating if you're not in here. I didn't see your name pop up, but somehow you know. So anyway, guys, again,
he smells them.
He smells the giveaway. If you want to win something worth $400 for $10, take your chances with it. But anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about a different kind of giveaway. And that is, of course, the C8 Corvette ZR1. If you want to win one of these guys, check out the links in the description again down below. You could potentially win this particular car, which is a ZR1 with a ZTK package.
That wing's huge.
If you click on the donation here, you'll get 4 extra just for using that link down below. But as soon as you click on this for $25, you can see right there at the top left, you get the horsepower 20 code, which is going to give you the extra 20% entries.
Could you imagine winning that for a $25 donation?
I know.
Now
it's crazy.
Whoever wins it is responsible for taxes on it, though, right?
That's why you also get 30 grand.
Okay, gotcha.
So you'll win the car and $30,000.
You think taxes are about $30K?
Oh yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah. And if you don't like the yellow color, which wouldn't necessarily be what I would go for, you can also win this one, which is actually 50% bonus entries for the same price. And it's torch red. So you still ZTK package, plus you're getting 25 grand in cash on this one.
That's back on HPO days when it was red on black instead of black on red.
Yep. Yep. And again, if you click on the $25 entry here, you'll get 9 additional entries. And you'll see up here the HPO 50 code. That's how you know you're getting the extra entries. So again, guys, check out both those links in the description down below. If you're interested in trying to win a ZR1, I mean, you could potentially win a ZR1 before the car's even out. That'd be pretty cool.
Do we have anybody in here that's down south that is experiencing the storm?
That's a good question.
Anybody down south?
Professor Corvette says, Amber, nice job with the lyric vlog. You need to do more.
Nah, I'm not so great on video. Justin makes me absolutely nervous. So bad. You guys don't see behind the scenes, but I'm like sweating it out as I'm doing it.
No, you're good.
Don't pretend.
No, I'm serious. You're good. Randall Swanson donates $20, so we'll put him in for 2 entries.
Thanks, Randall.
Thank you, Randall. Matthew Branson says, wish they were giving away the purple car. Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. They did do one of the new colors, obviously the competition yellow, but I'm surprised we didn't get the purple one too.
The purple, you mean it's like a safe purple?
Yeah, the safe purple.
Is that what you're talking about?
The blurple is what people like to call it.
Yeah.
Matt, who's what's up? Joe, how's it going, man? I actually want to talk to you about something. One of these nights you get a chance. I want to pick your brain on something I have an idea on.
I just saw Matt Hurley in here, I think.
Oh,
there he is.
yeah, it's going to be Matt Hurley, yeah. He says, got very lucky. Water behind our house came up over 10 feet.
Holy
almost
crap.
got in our house, but didn't. However, we have friends that lost their homes completely.
Oh, that's so sad.
Wow. I was just thinking, I know that hit Tampa pretty bad. And I actually have an aunt, maybe 2 aunts that live in that area. I can't remember. Yeah. They managed to dodge it just like Matt did. It came right up to their steps and then it receded. So some people got lucky while others did not. I've seen some pretty crazy videos.
Darren Burnett, I heard it's really bad in Tennessee. My
and North Carolina.
My general manager's son is actually in Tennessee on vacation, and he said he's trying to get back home so he can kind of get out of the storm. But hope everybody stays safe. Yep.
Austin, I actually was more impressed with the purple the second time around. I saw it originally at the Bash, and then I saw it again at Corvettes of Carlisle, and I thought it was nicer at Corvettes of Carlisle than I did originally at the Bash. So, but yeah, what you said earlier, these ones would perfectly match your car. Maybe you should grab a set, because honestly, if you get these for your Stingray, they'll match your Stingray. And then if you decide to move on to a Z06 or E-Ray or a ZR1, these will still work as long as it's a coupe. And
are you surprised that red C8 Z06 entered for the red ZR1?
I would not be surprised about that at all.
Are you going to have them side by side if you win it?
That would be crazy.
Ask Justin right now. He's in his glory. He actually shipped me outside.
Yep.
And he has both of his cars home here for, I don't know how long. Maybe until I kick him out so I can get back to my side of the garage.
Let's see. I don't know how good this image is going to look, but check this out, guys. This is my garage right now. That's my ZR1 and the C8 Z06 sitting side by side. Tell me that's not a thing of beauty right there.
Wait, let's pull up the driveway. Let's show them mine sitting in the driveway.
That's the way it's supposed to be right there, though. But Joe Lamb says the same thing. Amber enjoyed the Cadillac video.
Thank you much.
Nice.
I think Onyx enjoyed the Cadillac video.
People
too.
Liking the Cadillac stuff. Yeah, Matt Hurley says my heart breaks for North Carolina and Tennessee and Georgia as well. North Carolina seems like they got hit almost just as hard, maybe harder than Tampa, which doesn't even make sense because it's, obviously further out of the way. But I mean, these weather systems, man, you really can't predict them. Professor Corvette says, how about competition yellow ZR1 with edge blue wheels, habanero interior? Oh my, that's a lot of colors. You had me up until the habanero interior on competition yellow. I think the blue wheels would look kind of cool on the competition yellow, but habanero's pushing it too far. Matt Hurley says garage is on point. Thanks, Matt. That means a lot coming from you, man. I'll tell you what. One of the guys with possibly the coolest garage setups, like as far as how many the quality of cars he has sitting in there.
To answer your question, KP, producing the lyric video, there's many times Justin edited, but I said, no, come on, just let me talk. Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that someone actually said that on the video in the comment section. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I don't know.
Someone said the look on her face is, are you going to shut up and let me talk? And I was like, you have no idea how right you are. She said that like 12 times behind the scenes.
I'm like, can you just be quiet? Well, it wasn't actually that nice.
Right. Yeah. Brandon says, nice to see the brothers together. It'll be better when you have two ZR1s. Welcome back, C7 ZR1. Yeah, I said that a couple times to her. Did Amber produce the lyric video? She did not, but she was probably 75% of that video. Reach out anytime, Joe. I might call you after the live is over if you're available.
I would not know how to even begin to edit any video.
Mark Surge, this is a great question. He says, Justin, are you going to get the magnetic paddle shifters for your Z06 from Paragon Performance? Yep, they're on their way. So stay tuned for that. They're already on their way to me, and I am super excited for them. I don't know if you guys have heard these things yet, but when you shift, if you've ever driven a gated manual, you'll know the sound that I'm talking about, but you get that same sound every time you click those paddles. It's wow. Fantastic.
Brandon's garage just said Tail of the Dragon had a landslide and some trees down.
Yeah. Yeah. The North Carolina got hit pretty hard in the Tennessee area.
Do we know anybody in North Carolina? I don't know anybody.
South
Carolina, we have some family that lives in South Carolina, but yeah.
Davius says, Justin, what do you think the gas guzzler tax will be on the ZR1, especially with the price going up for the Z06? So yeah, for those of you who don't know, the Z06 and the Z07 package Z06 now have the same gas guzzler tax. It used to be $3,000 on the Z07, and it was like $2,300, I think, on the Z06. It's $3,000 now across the board. With that said, the ZR1, man, it's going to be high. It's probably going to be $3,200 to $3,500 if I had to guess.
How do they estimate gas guzzler?
I don't know. It certainly seems like it's just a random guess number to me. But
does it go by horsepower?
No,
it doesn't.
It's
go by
miles per gallon.
Oh, okay.
Guys, we got 9 minutes to hit the 100 thumbs ups. We got 150 people watching, so this should be a no-brainer. Wow. This should be easy. Guys, smash the thumbs up for me if you can. It really helps the channel.
Jeff Beaver, Western North Carolina, got 29 inches of rain. I can't even imagine that. We go crazy when we see 2 inches underneath our deck sometimes. Where you park your truck, when you get out, there's that little slight dip that holds a little bit of water. And that's, oh my God, I couldn't imagine 29.
Purple. The Hysteria with the habanero interior.
You think that looks good?
That's 100%. That's the color I would get if you're going full supercar mode. And Nate, again, with another donation. So he donates $40 more, so he donated $50 altogether. So he'll get double entries. He's got 10 entries now. He's donating and he's not even in the chat. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, how is Nate watching this if he's not in the chat?
No, he's probably here. He just can't comment.
Okay.
Oh
no, you don't want the. I would be embarrassed to show bloopers for the Corvette.
That would be funny. That would be funny. I have a bloopers video coming for the members though, Professor Corvette. So stay tuned for that. This is something that the members will get. And again, guys, if you're interested in supporting the channel and becoming a member, check it out. It is actually in the description down below. Pretty much everything I talk about is down there. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, check that out.
We got what, 2 or 3 more members overnight? Is that?
Yeah, I think there's 8 members now total, which is crazy because like I said, I didn't even expect it to turn into anything. Darren Burnett says, great garage pick, Justin. Thank you, Darren.
He just forgot to show you my lonely car sitting in the driveway all by itself.
Robert says 4K is my guess. That's high. That is really high. That's interesting. Yeah, Nate, your chats are not showing up. I do not see you typing in here. That's weird.
Where did you see Nate?
Squirrel Cage Garage says, after watching the lyric review video, I very much got Justin is sleeping on the couch tonight vibes.
No, it doesn't ever get that bad. It's just...
Oh, that's good, though. I like that a lot.
I kind of wanted that video to be all me and not have him narrating and giving his 2 cents, but it didn't pan out that way.
Well, the problem with that is there's certain things that kind of feel like it had to be said and it just wasn't getting said. So I wanted to make sure that, certain things were touched on. But for the most part, I let her have her chance with it.
Can you just let me talk?
G. Smith says 86 thumbs ups and 152, actually 165 people watching now. Guys, let's smash the thumbs up. Let's get to 100 by 8 o'clock, 200 by 8:30. That would be fantastic. G. Smith just got his ZR1 back from Blackout Tinning.
Woo! I saw the delivery.
What do you think about it, man? You got to tell me.
Looked good. We saw it in person. What day were we up there? Was it Tuesday? No, it was Monday.
Oh yeah, it was last Monday. We actually got to,
good.
Yeah, we saw your car in person.
That's the first time I've actually seen a silver on black ZR1. I've never seen a silver ZR1. Looked good.
Let's see. Did you get worse miles per gallon on your C8Z or your C7? Oh, C8Z by far. My C7 Z06, I actually was able to get really good gas mileage on that, especially on the highway. I was able to get like 28 miles per gallon one time. Well, actually, when I was driving down and traded on this C7 ZR1, I drove from PA to Virginia, and a lot of that was highway driving, and the miles per gallon on the C7 Z06 was fantastic. On the C8 Z06, it's a little bit more complicated because they're really just trying to like go balls to the wall to make sure you're getting all the power that you can possibly get out of that car, and that unfortunately comes at the cost of gas mileage.
Hey, General Lee, what's up?
How's it going, General? Thanks for tuning in. General, I don't know if you're interested or not, man, but this is the giveaway for tonight. The C8 Rally Driver hatch supports for the coupe, and they're in any color. So this is just a display piece. You can get them in any color. If you do win, you choose what color you get. This is just to show you what we're giving away tonight. So C8 Rally Driver, they're Keith, the owner of the company, basically. He is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. He came out here and actually hooked me up with a couple of his parts. Really, really cool stuff. Really, really car show worthy. So if you're a car show kind of guy, you want his stuff. It just looks incredible, and it's unlike anything else you're going to find out there.
No, what was it? Beginning of August he was out here? Right after our anniversary, actually.
I think it was somewhere around there, yeah. Chris says, I love all your content on the Z06. Any idea when tuning will be available? No idea at all. And honestly, it would not surprise me if it never becomes available. So if anybody out there is thinking about buying a C8 Z06 thinking, no, I'll wait until tuning comes out and I'll tune it then, it's probably not going to happen. If I had to put money on it, I would say Z06 probably never gets tuned. But even if it does, it's going to be a while.
What's the reason why they wouldn't let you crack the ECU on that? Is there a reason why?
They just put really heavy security on it this time around.
What is it? Just because of their warranty? They don't want to warranty something that...
I guess that would be my best guess, but honestly, even that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so I don't know.
Yeah, because people can still do exhausts and cats and stuff like that. So I don't know what the big deal is.
G. Smith says, yay, it looks amazing. Looks like it rolled off the assembly line with the interior, and the carbon ceramic is like, wow. Yep. Yeah. Blackout tinting really, really knows how to do it.
Speaking of ceramic, you should have seen Justin. We have a detail guy that comes to our house and washes our cars. And after he did it, your ZR1 was really looking good.
Yeah,
really.
ZR1 is super shiny. I don't know what it is, but it is
shinier. They're sitting side by side. We were sitting in the garage last night. I asked Justin which one you think.
My C8 Z06 is dirty though.
Yeah, I know, but it's just the ZR1 is like, it's almost like looking at through a piece of glass.
Yeah, it is. It is shiny. Super 8 says, I'm planning on selling my Stingray to get the same spec in an E-Ray soon. Nice. Joe, you're gonna be blown away by the difference.
Joe, what color car is yours? I jogged my memory. I don't remember.
Torch red.
It's torch red. Oh, yep. That's your old color.
Robert says, Justin on the couch drinking Mountain Dew. LOL.
He drinks Mountain Dew anywhere. The garage, the deck, the couch.
Austin says, do you think the coupe will have as much of a price difference between... Now, do you think the coupe will have as much of a price difference between the coupe and convertible now that there's carbon fiber surrounding the rear window on the base trim? Are you talking about carbon fiber around the rear window in a Stingray? I don't know that I heard about this. Poke Rev. Nice.
That's new. Who's that?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen this name before.
Yeah.
Pokey Rev, I guess it is.
Don't know who that is.
Love the content, man. Appreciate all the info you support or you provide. Thank you. You just got yourself 5 entries, or 10 entries, I'm sorry.
You got 10. To
win the hatch support. So hopefully you have a C8 Stingray, Z06, or E-Ray in a coupe. You can win a $400 piece of equipment just because you decided to support the channel. Guys, I appreciate all the support here. So if you decide you want to take a chance and win some cool stuff, this is where you do it. I'm going to have a bunch of C8 Rally Driver stuff to give away because me and Keith have been talking on the back end. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of these giveaways. So definitely check those out. If you like the way they look, win them for a couple bucks here versus spending $400 on them on the website.
Well, think about it. They put their order in for that. Maybe next week we can have something else from C8 Rally Driver, and they can slowly just like.
Well, it'll be the following week, but yeah.
Okay, that's right, because you're giving those away.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 weeks, guys.
Matthew says, "Have you heard of anybody going to make chrome wheels for the ZR1?" Not directly, but
he sounds like your dad.
No, there's a lot of people that like the chrome.
Your dad likes chrome.
The Wheelcraft? Yeah, Wheelcraft in Ohio will actually chrome any wheel you want to send them. So if you want to send them a stock wheel off of a ZR1, they'll chrome it for you. And honestly, this is one of the colors that I think looks the best with chrome. Anything that's like a burgundy, I think chrome looks really good on.
Wheelcraft was at Corvette's of Carlisle diagonal from our booth this year.
Yep, they're always there.
They weren't banging on their wheel though with their hammer this year.
Chili Pepper says, 2 not needed, put NOS on the Z06, just ask Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's right, Brandon. I totally forgot about that. When is that happening?
I think he's doing it now.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, G. Smith, we hit 100 thumbs by 8 o'clock. We actually are at 108. So guys, let's keep smashing those thumbs up. Let's get to 200 by 8:30. We got 170 people watching, so we can at least get close. Let's get as close as we possibly can.
How about 200 thumbs up and 200 people watching? That sounds better.
Yeah, let's do that too. Bill says, hey, Justin, what about us hardtop convertible guys? How about a clear engine cover? I could probably work that out, Bill. But not next week, but the following week, I'll definitely have something that will apply to the hardtop convertible guys as well. So be on the lookout for that, guys. We're going to be getting back into the giveaways here. All kinds of good stuff coming, so be sure to tune in on these Monday Night Lives, if for no other reason, to win some cool stuff.
Bill Miller, I hear you've been hanging out with Justin at the car shows. Gonna have to come to one of those. I usually am working, so I don't go.
Yeah, Professor Corvette, we did not talk about that last week, and I have that queued up to talk about this week because I forgot to mention it last week.
Oh my gosh, Brandon's working on it now. Can he do this on a live video when he actually is that possible? Like do it live when he takes it out for the first time? Set up a
phone on a tripod and set this up, Brandon, so we can sit here and watch
it. Brandon.
All right, so what we're going to do, guys, we're actually going to talk a little bit about some news here because Professor Corvette brought it up that last week I didn't touch on something that I wanted to, and that is that GM president Mark Royce says Corvette will stay with Chevrolet. So if you guys haven't seen this video yet over on Jay Leno's channel, he actually got to talk to Mark Royce a little bit about the C8 ZR1 and get some information straight from Mark himself. And sure enough, he specifically says Corvette's staying with Chevy. So Corvette is not going to branch off and become its own thing like a lot of speculation had us believing. And not just speculation, but at the same time, the stuff that makes sense. It almost makes sense for Corvette to break off because it's such a higher end part of what Chevy creates. And in order for it to be maintained the way that I feel like it should be maintained, it does kind of require a better approach to it. And it kind of requires a separate facility. And in that situation, it makes sense that Corvette would break off from Chevrolet, but Mark is saying not going to happen.
I'd love to see Jay Leno's garage in person. Wouldn't you?
It would be pretty cool.
It'd be pretty nice.
But so if you guys were wondering about that, you do have confirmation here from Mark Royce himself. It's not going to happen.
Amber paying those bills. Chili Peppers Z06. What's that mean? Me paying those bills? I definitely pay my bills.
I think he means because of the video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna need some revenue off of that video, by the way.
Professor Corvette says there was a lot of talk of Corvette moving to Cadillac about 20 years ago. Obviously never happened. Yeah, there's always speculation. Whenever you have a community like the Corvette community of people just super car enthusiast guys, they get together and they come up with some crazy ideas. I mean, that's what we do here every Monday night. We come up with some crazy ideas that may come true or they may not, and somebody may take it and run with it as they think it's fact. And if they do that, this is how this kind of stuff gets born.
But doesn't matter. I mean, we're just having a general discussion.
We're just having fun.
We're just shooting the breeze.
Squirrel Cage Garage says, since Corvette won't be its own brand now, I wonder if the Corvette SUV would still happen. Probably not. I thought that same thing. With Mark Royce confirming that the Corvette is not going to separate from Chevrolet, what does that mean for the Corvette SUV that's been rumored?
Is that real? You think that's real?
I think it means it probably isn't going to happen. But you never know.
Hey,
I mean,
you know what?
honestly, you never know.
If a Corvette SUV comes out, I think I would have to get it.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
I think I would get it.
Steve Robertson says, if Cadillac can be its own brand, Corvette could too. Absolutely. And honestly, I would be surprised if they would do one or the other. I would assume they would do both at the same time and literally make Cadillac. I mean, Cadillac kind of is its own thing at this point, but not to the degree that I was thinking with Corvette, where Corvette's literally, I don't know, we've always known Corvette as just a Chevy Corvette, whereas like Cadillacs have always had different models with them. So
it kind of is weird that Corvette's not their own brand, just because I mean they've really gotten into like the Lamborghini territory and stuff, don't you think? As far as like
with this, especially with the ZR1 coming, it's not a far stretch anymore to say that, hey, I got a Corvette that's just as fast as your Lamborghini or your Ferrari or whatever. It's really not a stretch.
Faster, maybe even faster. Some of the, not the SF90. My God, that's
well, I mean, honestly, the SF90 against the new ZR1, it's going to be a heck of a race. I mean, and that's really saying something. That SF90 is incredible.
Oh God, it's a beautiful car. You guys had one of those early on when you guys first opened up the shop in Miami. Was it red, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. And the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini Urus was the very first car in there. SUV.
Steve Robertson says, I have a CT5V that I love. I was actually looking at a CT4V just recently.
God, it was so dang expensive too.
Bill says, I am so happy the Corvette brand does not go with Cadillac brand due to all the issues Cadillac has had over the years.
I've been very fortunate.
To say, I have not seen any issues that Cadillac has ever had, other than her Lyric. And honestly,
there'll be another video coming.
We're going to be working on another video, but that Lyric issue ended up being nowhere near as dire as we were originally told. So
I mean, they're still working on it, but there's definitely a breakthrough. So I got me an XT4 rental. God, when I get my car back, I'm really going to miss it. Makes me appreciate it a little more.
Austin says, so many people give the Corvette brand crap because it's a Chevy. So I think if it had its own brand, maybe that talk would slow down. There's the biggest reason for this, Austin. The people that give the crap to Corvette because it's a Chevy are people that there's two groups of people that do that. Either people that own something that's far, far, far less than a Corvette, or someone who decided to save all their pennies and buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. And now they're kind of like, this Corvette's pretty much just as good, but I better make sure that people understand why it's not.
I'm actually saving my quarters for the Lamborghini Urus. That's what I'm working on right now.
Yep.
You said you'd pick up the difference, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
On what I haven't saved.
All right, guys, we got 160 people watching. We got 120 thumbs ups. Let's keep going with the thumbs up, guys.
Hey, cool dad stuff. I guess I'm considered everybody in that one, right? I'm just kidding.
Chopper Larry says everyone needs to get over the Ferrari comparisons. 458 is 15-year-old model. That's what you're comparing to your Vet. Honestly, I don't really love that kind of thing. I hear people comparing the Ferrari 458 to the Z06 a lot. I don't have a problem with that. The biggest reason I don't is because what we're comparing has nothing to do with the fact that that's a 15-year-old Ferrari. What we're comparing is the sound and the flat plane crank. There aren't a lot of flat plane crank cars out there to compare it to. So the 458 is one of the ones we're going to go to right off the bat, because not only is that one of the best flat plane crank cars out there, but it's definitely one of the best sounding. And in my opinion, it's one of the best Ferrari ever built. So saying not to compare it to a 15-year-old Ferrari, I don't agree with that. I think the Z06 is a fantastic car. I don't care if we're comparing it to a car made 75 years ago. If that car 75 years ago is still awesome today, let's do it. I think the fact that we're even talking about comparing a Z06 to a Ferrari means we are in some really cool times. Seawolf Z06 donates $25. I think that's probably about $20 US. So he'll get 2 entries. Thank you, Seawolf.
Thank you.
Always appreciate that. And actually,
that was Coco that donated.
Yeah,
that, wasn't it?
It's Coco. This would be. I'm trying to remember. I think are you calipers are torch red, I believe, right? I can't remember. So go with torch red on this, maybe. I'm pretty sure they're torch red. Let me know. This is their 3rd super on a live stream. It says, thank you, Seawolf. That's amazing. Yeah, I'll just call you Coco from now on, because it's actually the dog that's doing all the typing.
Hey, Coco did. She's a cute little pup.
Guys, let's smash the thumbs up. We got 170 watching now. Let's get these thumbs ups going.
Cool dad stuff. I was just kidding you. He's like, I was considered everybody, but now I get my own comment. I'm just messing with you.
Nice.
You know who I haven't seen on here in a while is LT4 Powered. Where's he been? He must be doing a late night shift.
He commented on the lyric video.
Did he?
Yeah.
He's
Joe says if you got a Corvette SUV, you would have to start your own show called
I couldn't do it.
HPO Amber, or I would say Miss HPO. Mrs. HPO.
Yeah, but you'd have to do all my editing for me.
Oof.
Could you manage 2 channels?
I don't know.
It's not for me. I couldn't do YouTube.
Oof, I'm falling behind on the comments here. Let's see what we got. YNV says, I'm okay with the Corvette staying with Chevrolet, but I would love to see dedicated service, specifically Corvettes with premium service loaners as well. That's exactly what I'm saying. And honestly, I don't think we get that without Corvette separating. Not that it can't be done. I just don't see it happening. And I hope it does, because I totally agree. I would rather Corvette stays with Chevrolet too, but maybe open specific centers just for Corvette stuff, because then you can hire your higher end techs, make sure they have more training and they know the Corvette's inside and out, and they don't need to know anything else. You know, that would be the way to do
it. Bruno, funny comment.
The Mountain Dew Green Man was at the Yankee game yesterday, sitting with the Hawk Tuah girl. Nice. Ugh. Talk about the spotlight for the wrong people. NBA Live says LT6 was designed off of the 458 engine. Yep. Nailed it. Well said, Justin. I mean, nobody knows this better than Matt. Matt literally, he either still does or at least had a 458. And he's also owned a Z06.
And he's also owned an SF90.
So, Matt, you can literally tell us, how well do those cars compare? And I'm pretty sure I've asked you this before. You've owned a Z06, you've owned a 458. There's a reason why these cars are compared so often, and it doesn't have anything to do with the time frame in between the car. Like I said, it's the the awesome factor of the car. And if you have a chance, Matt, tell us a little bit about your experience owning both of those cars.
Well, they did say up at the top too, they wanted to compare it to the SF90. I think.
No, that was the ZR1.
Oh, okay.
Brandon's Garage says, after Ron Fellows, good God, the Z06 is a monster. I had no idea how good it is. This is exactly my experience with Ron Fellows, guys. You go to Ron Fellows, if you've never been there before, you go there thinking, I know how to drive. The second you get in that car, you find out you have no idea what you're doing. And they will tell you everything about it, and you get to push the limits of that car on a track. So now you are actually a better C8 Z06 driver because you know exactly where the limits of your car are at. And you don't necessarily know that before you go there because you can't really push the car to the limit on the street.
That's what I was going to say. It's really not any useful once you leave the track. Unless you take your
No. It's not about it. It is still useful because now I know exactly how my car will react when pushed to a certain limit.
They both react differently. The C7 kind of like fishtails.
Yeah, the C they're both completely different cars. And that's why owning both is really the way to do it, because it's not like getting the C8 is getting the best possible Corvette. It is really good, but it's not necessarily better than the ZR1. Nor is my C7 ZR1 not necessarily better than the C8 Z06. They both complement each other because they're both good at different things. Bill Miller says, I am so really looking forward to the Zora with the mix of the ZR1 and the hybrid front axle. This will be a monster on both the track and the road and will outrun all those supercars. Absolutely. Now, the Zora is the car that really is supposed to be compared to the SF90 because of its very similar drivetrain. Austin says it's the engine. People say they stole the idea. And, the thing is even if they, we'll say they borrowed the idea, it doesn't matter. They improved on it. It makes way more power. In my opinion, it sounds better. And it's in a car that costs far less. So when someone says someone stole something, it's not stealing it if you've taken even inspiration from it and improved on it. That's not stealing. Seawolf says he's heading to Ron Fellows on October 9th. Nice. Can't wait to see what I can do in the Z. You're going to have a blast. Absolute blast. Are you taking...
Is Maria going?
Yeah, you got to take the pup, too.
Yeah, Coco goes everywhere.
Put her... Is it a girl? Right?
She's a girl.
Yeah, put her right in the center console.
She's so little she could probably fit.
Did anybody manage to correct the tuning? No, unfortunately. Not for the Z06. For the Stingray, yes. Yeah. Red C8 Z06. I missed my Ron Fellows time with my C7 ZR1 because of COVID. It kind of sucks, but
you bought them literally within 1 year of each other.
Yeah.
July of 19 and July of 20 is when we picked the other one up.
Zane R says, how is the ZR1 going to be different from the Z06 other than the turbos? And actually, that's a great question because it's really hard to answer that question. Because as of now, with what we know about the ZR1, there really isn't going to be a lot of difference outside of the turbos. Outside of the extra power, there really isn't much different. You're going to have a little bit more carbon fiber, a little bit more cooling, and a bigger wing for the most part if you get the ZTK package. That's pretty much it, as far as we know now. Now, this could change, of course, when the car comes out. If they decide they want to add active aero or talk about that may be different then. But as of right now, especially if you don't get the ZTK car and you sit that card right next to a Z06, it's very, very, very subtly different.
Seawolf Z06 said Maria and Coco are staying home. They're
staying home. Nice.
They're sitting that one out. I don't blame them. Matt Hurley, that'd be perfect. Be a live guest on a Monday night. I think he should.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Matt, I swear to God, I tried to get you on here before.
Yeah,
that is a fantastic idea, Matt. We definitely need to get you on here. I thought I did that before. I've reached out to a couple different people, and I've been turned down by most people. They didn't want to come on because...
They just don't want to be on live.
They don't like the camera, right? So, Matt, if you're okay with that, I would love to have you on here. Chopper Larry says, yeah, I'm a certified Ferrari Master Tech. The Vet is the better car than a 458. I totally agree. And most people that own or have owned both, I should say, you either do now or you have, will tell you the same thing. It's the ones that have only owned the 458 that will tell you not even close. The Ferrari's better. I've driven a 458. I love the 458. I think that's one of Ferrari's best cars. I actually prefer that over the 488. But I still think that the Z06, I think Chevy nailed it with the LT6. They absolutely killed it. Let's do a little bit more information here, guys. So we got 164 people watching, 131 thumbs ups. Let's keep smashing the thumbs ups, guys. Let's get to 200 by 8. I want to get into a little bit more news here because there is a little bit more to discuss. So we talked a little bit about the fact that Mark Royce says that Corvette is going to stay with Chevrolet. It's not going to be branching off onto its own thing. But let's move on to the next little bit of conversation here, and that is going to be this. So Europe will not be selling the C8 ZR1.
Why is that? Is it the horsepower?
No. So let's go through this. I don't actually think that they give a reason, but ultimately what it comes down to, if you guys don't know this, the C7 Corvette ZR1 is not sold officially in Europe either. So what they're referring to by that is you can export or import the car if you're in Europe from the US, and it moves the steering wheel, of course, over to the right. So you got a right-hand drive car. The C7 ZR1 was never given that option either because the dive planes up front are too thin, and it could potentially injure a pedestrian if you were to hit them in a crosswalk or something. And the engine sticks through the hood. So those two things are literally against the regulations overseas in Europe and countries around there. So your engine cannot stick through the hood. And technically the C7 Corvette, the engine is sticking through the hood. It's just covered with a piece of carbon fiber.
Could you imagine how much that would be to export that? That'd have to
it's super expensive.
Probably by who knows? I don't even know how that would go.
It's super expensive, and the reason why, if you ever did go overseas and you had your Corvette with you, you will have people staring at you as if you're driving a $1 million car over there because they don't see Corvettes. Corvettes are never over there.
Couldn't go by train. So part of it could go by train, and then maybe
it's all going to be boated over, and there's a lot of money involved in getting it done. I mean, the other way too, to import a car from overseas to the States here, it's an expensive thing. But
if you want it bad enough, you'll do what you need to do.
Chevy's selling the Stingray as a right-hand drive car. They're exporting them to like Japan and overseas. It's still an expensive process, but they're doing it as a right-hand drive option. That's not going to happen with the ZR1. So if you guys live overseas, I don't think anybody in here right now does, but if you did, you're not going to be able to get one. Squirrel Cage Garage says the ZR1 is not in Europe due to a sharp front end and hood design. It probably is the hood design if I had to guess. Because that's really the only thing that really separates it from the way the Z06 looks. But let's move on to the next little bit too. So those of you out there who have an E-Ray, this kind of is for you. There is now a technical service bulletin for air in the coolant system and to purge if and as necessary. So you can actually see it here. There is a technical service bulletin thanks to GM Tech Link, specifically to Lane Risk, Quality Brand Manager. So basically, this is the independent cooling system to cool the high voltage battery. Air will gather and gets trapped in the hoses around the hybrid electric vehicle coolant pump, and it can cause the pump to stop for self-protection, which the battery energy control module interprets as an underspeed condition. So you're going to get a check engine light. Now, this is interesting because this is a problem that GM seems to have with all of their electric pumps. We were just talking about this, I think, last Monday night about the electric coolant pump on the C7 Z06 cavitating. And when it does, it literally shuts off. So the pump stops pumping coolant through the coolant bricks for the supercharger. And when that happens, the car goes into limp mode because it basically... It's not shedding heat like it should. So the E-Ray is kind of having the same issue. If air enters in there, the pump will shut down and then everything overheats. So if you have an E-Ray, I would take it to the dealership, make sure that that technical service bulletin is taken care of, because that could be a potential issue if your battery starts to overheat. I don't want to speculate what happens when your battery overheats, especially whenever it's sitting in the center console right beside you. So
your leg burns.
Let's avoid that issue and just go to the dealership and make sure that that's taken care of.
That does get pretty hot in there.
Not on the C8.
No, I said that the C7 does.
Yeah, well, this is for the C7 or the C8.
Oh.
Jeez.
I can't wait to see.
Many manufacturers are having NOx cooling pump issues. It's because the way that pump is set up, it doesn't. Whenever it cavitates, there's got to be a better way to set that up so it doesn't shut off whenever it thinks that there's no fluid.
Hey Andrew, how are you?
What's up, man? Let's move on to a little bit more news here, guys. In the meantime, let's smash that thumbs up button. We got 142 thumbs ups. Let's get to 200. Would be really awesome. We're going to move on to a little bit more news here. But in the meantime, for anybody just joining in, we have a giveaway going tonight, guys. It is the C8 Rally Driver hatch supports. This is just a display piece here. You can get them in any color. If you end up winning, you can choose whatever color you want. This is just to show you what they look like. They're fully billet and basically will drop a little bit weight off of the stock unit while looking really awesome at car shows. Whatever color you choose to go with is the color you can pick, but a $10 donation gets you an entry. $50 or more gets you double entries. So you can send to the Venmo link pinned to the top of this chat or right here in the super chat, and you'll get an entry. Squirrel Cage Garage says, I have a chance to sell my C7Z and get a C8 E-Ray in the exact same spec and immediately available at MSRP. That's a great question, Squirrel. Ken, can you confirm for me? I don't recall off the top of my head if your C8 or your C7Z, if it's a stick. Is it an automatic or a manual?
He has a C7 Z06.
Yeah.
What color?
Black. Andrew, it has definitely been a tough year. I apologize. Sucks to see that happen to good people.
Yeah, he surely has had it rough.
I'll see, Brandon. I'll be honest with you. If he has a manual transmission in that C7Z, I would not. Not only would I not, but even if you have an automatic, I still don't think I would do it at MSRP right now. These E-Rays and Z06s now are going for under MSRP. I would be fighting for at least 5 to 7K under.
That sounds wild to me. Remember,
yeah.
They at one point were fetching 25, 30, 50, yep. $100,000 over. And now it's like they know they can't get it now.
Daryl says, what's the cost on regular service on a Z06? If you're talking about a C8 Z06, your first oil change and transmission filter change is included, so you get it for free. Afterwards, depending on where you go, one of my subscribers actually sent me a really good spreadsheet breakdown of price differences between dealerships. The dealership that I would go to would charge you $1,000 for an oil change and a transmission filter change on a Z06. However, you could get that same service done at a different dealership for high 600s.
But you can.
So there is that much difference between dealerships.
You can use your GM points though, right?
You can use your GM points if you have a 23. You can use the GM points. Okay.
Oh, that's right. 24s didn't get that, huh?
So Ken says his C706 is an automatic. So Ken, with that said, I would move to pursue the E-Ray, but I would offer them at least 5K under MSRP for the car. And then if they agree to that, I would absolutely move into it. So let's move on to a little bit more news here, guys. There's a little bit more we want to cover. The biggest item on the ticket here is coming soon. So for this one, it is going to be the 2025 PDI form. So if you guys don't know what this is basically what they do. It's kind of a pre-inspection of the car. Once it arrives to the dealership, there's certain things they have to do to get it ready for you. And that includes usually like adding splitters and spoilers and stuff that the car doesn't ship with.
What does that mean? Pre-delivery inspection?
Yes.
PDI?
Yep. So this is actually the list that they go through, and there's quite a number of things here. I'm not going to go through all these, but some of these are pretty interesting. there is a lot of stuff that they need to check and verify on this car before you sign the papers and drive off with it.
They have to fill all the fluids.
You know, everything that car ships with, or everything that the car should have installed and it doesn't ship with, would need to be installed. And obviously they need to verify that the car still runs well and is full tank of gas and all this other stuff.
So when it actually ships, what do they do? Just put all that stuff in the trunk or frunk if they have one?
Usually it's in the trunk.
And then the dealership just puts all the extras on, like the ground effects and all that.
Yep. Sometimes, depending on what you've ordered, if you like with the Stingray, especially if you could order a second set of wheels.
What do they do with that?
Those get shipped to the dealership separately.
Those can't fit.
But this is an interesting list of things to look through, guys. It's over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum. If you want to see this in a little bit more detail, it's pretty interesting to see some of the stuff that they do with the car before you drive off with it.
They should actually just ship the extra big things to the house, because say you're picking your car from out of state, you're not going to be able to put 4 wheels in the car to come home in. So why don't they just ship the stuff to the house instead of the dealership?
Well, it depends, because in this case, those wheels need to be installed on the car.
Oh, okay.
So you technically take your
old But then the old ones off, you got to get them shipped if you want to keep them, right?
Ken says, let's do a poll. Ken, I bet you I already know the result of this poll. Let's see. Should, I'll put Ken in here, trade his C7 Z06
manual
for, no, it's an auto.
Or auto, okay.
For a C8 E-Ray. I would say that the overwhelming response here is going to be yes, if I had to guess.
What do you think he can get for his C7 Z06 automatic? What do you think it's worth?
It depends on the year and mileage.
What is the year and the mileage, Ken?
Chopper Larry says Chevy dealers sure picked up on Ferrari service prices. Yeah, it certainly seems that way, especially since the C8 Z06 is not difficult to work on. Like, it's incredible to me that the prices are as high as they are. Yeah, many LPOs shipped separate from the car. Got 150 thumbs ups, guys. Let's keep rolling with those.
People are saying so far that yes, he should.
Yeah, I knew they would.
Huh.
Looks like we're getting a lot of commercials tonight. That's not good.
Oh, geez.
We got 170 people watching and 150 thumbs ups. That's a discrepancy of 20, guys. Let's change that up.
Just to give you a heads up, guys, the commercials and ads that you see are not picked by, I guess, the YouTuber, so to say. We have no control over those ads that are coming through.
I don't choose any of the ads you see. So whatever you see, if it's Tide, I don't even use Tide. You know, stuff like that. So those are not
yes,
mine.
we do use Tide.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
That's Gain down there.
Oh,
so.
we use Gain.
Okay. Professor Corvette says, wonder if Chevy service has figured out a way to put on new tires on carbon fiber wheels yet. Odds are good they have, but not all of them have, if I had to guess. All right, so 2015 non-Z07, 70,000 miles, clean title, not a clean Carfax. Oh, okay. So
wait, what would not a clean Carfax be?
You're probably looking at mid to high 50s, if I had to guess.
What does it mean by not a clean Carfax? Could there have been like issues with the engine and stuff or whatever?
No, probably smaller things, but.
Oh, okay.
I voted no just because I think he has a C8 Z06. No. This is a C7 Z06. I didn't put that in there?
You put automatic, I thought.
No, I put it in there. Should Ken trade his C7 Z06 automatic for a C8 E-Ray? It's not he doesn't have a C8 Z06. He has a C7 Z06 and that's it.
That's right, Professor Corvette. Need more Mountain Dew commercials. I agree.
That's probably the only commercial you won't see on here for some reason. Mark Surge says, especially if you're going to daily the E-Ray Squirrel Cage Garage, I would say it's worth it. C8Z is a piece of cake to service. Yes, it is. In comparison to the 458, it is an unbelievable piece of cake. So GM really did a good job with the C8 platform, making it so, you know, your normal weekend warrior garage mechanic could do it himself. Like, I can change the oil, I can change the transmission filter, I can do that all myself, and I'm by no means a master tech. So they made it easy to do. Why it's so expensive at the dealerships, I could not even begin to answer. That info changes my vote. 17 or newer Z06 with a manual would be a keeper. That's exactly what I was thinking, Darren. And it would be a daily, he says. Okay, so if that's the case, Ken, I would definitely go for the E-Ray. And like I said, go in there and offer them $5K under. And if you get it at that price, I think you're getting a great deal. You two are very entertaining together, Amber. We love your energy tonight.
Super 8 Creations. I may or may not be drinking a Mountain Dew myself. I might be. I don't know. I possibly could be somewhere here. There it is. That's where my energy's coming from.
Good question. Professor Corvette says, why not get the new Z06? I know Ken was interested in the E-Ray over the Z06, and I don't remember why.
Maybe he likes the hybrid.
That's a good question, though, Ken, if you feel like you want to answer that.
Because they're pretty close in cost, right?
Nobody is going to daily drive a manual Z06. That's not true, Fast Eddie. I would daily drive a manual ZR1 if I could.
Not in Florida traffic, you wouldn't.
I absolutely would. BW says, hey, Amber, love the lyric video. Beth, nice.
Hey, Beth.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm not the greatest on camera. I think this might be my second time on camera.
Maybe third, but yeah.
Second or third.
Chopper Larry says, yeah, no E-Ray. Get the Z06. Everybody must be drinking Mountain Dew during Corvette Weekly. First rule of HBO Club. Yeah. Stephen Rapp, if that's true, we really need to talk. He says, my friend's uncle invented Mountain Dew. I actually hope that's true. That would be really cool.
Stephen Rapp, phone a friend after the live tonight.
Mr. T says, did we get a Nürburgring time from Sport Auto yet for the Z06? No, we did not. They said it is the fastest car around the ring that they have done in 2024. So I don't know what that means exactly yet, but it sounds promising. So hopefully that means it is well under 7 minutes. The E-Ray is going to be the poor man's Zora, I guess. Windy City says, I think the E-Ray would be more reliable. The Z06 makes 650 from the engine versus E-Ray's electric motors helping the LT2. The C7 Z06 has proven to be a pretty reliable car. So I don't know that I would necessarily agree that the E-Ray is going to be more reliable. Possibly just as reliable, but the C7 platform in general has been very solid. So one last little bit of information or news here before we can just continue the discussion without any news interruptions. No, Bill, we did not get those yet. We should be getting them here pretty soon, though. So, guys, again, thumbs up. We got 162 thumbs up, so let's keep going with those. Before we get into this last news, let's talk about this. Ken says, well, the E-Ray is a little cheaper. I love the all-wheel drive, the daily driver aspect, and I know this will be an unpopular opinion, but I prefer the sound of the LT2 over the LT6. Go ahead and roast me.
No roasting. I mean, everybody prefers their thing.
Everybody is entitled to their own opinion.
But I think we should end the poll right now and see if it's yes or no for his new E-Ray.
It is, yes. So you got a 64% to 36%. So you should trade it. That's actually closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought for sure it was going to be in the 70s. Brandon's Garage says, I heard Sport Auto was going to wait a month or two to release times. Read it somewhere, but can't verify accuracy. Why would they wait? That seems so weird, but I don't doubt it. Chopper Larry says, Mountain Dew was originally a mixer for whiskey. I'm learning so much. Oh, man, I would have never guessed something like that. C7 Z06 automatics overheat on the track. That is true. But let's be honest, you're not going to be taking the E-Ray to a track anyway. So if this is between the C7 Z06 and the E-Ray, neither one are really going to see track time.
Ooh, he goes to work at 5 a.m.
Ouch.
Yikes. That's early.
High flow cats on the LT2 is pure magic. Yes, it is. Good info Brandon did not know. Yeah, I didn't know that either. I hope that that's not true, especially since I can't even begin to imagine why they would want to wait. But we'll see. Closer than I thought too. Thank you, everyone. Brandon's Garage says, get it. I'm used to the old school sound now too. Now that I've had my LT6 though, my opinion is definitely, let her rip potato chip at 8,500. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong either way. Like I showed earlier, the video of my garage where my Z06 and my ZR1 are sitting. When I start my ZR1, I don't go, oh God, I hate this sound. And nor do I do that whenever I start my Z06. They both have an incredible sound, and they're both incredible cars for two completely different reasons. So
is HPO the only one that has a camera in his garage?
Yeah, guys.
Can somebody else tell me if they have a camera in their garage?
Who else has a camera in your garage?
So we bought, 5, 6, 7 cameras, something like that. And I said, we got one left. Where can we put it? He goes,
garage.
Oh, the garage.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have a garage camera that they watch their cars on?
All right, Austin confirmed. He says their driver said that on IG. They're waiting to publish the time until the magazine is released. Oh, that makes sense then. Okay, at least that makes sense. Brandon says he has 2 in his garage. Absolutely.
Okay, Brandon. But you know what? Brandon's is not an attached garage, though. He has that big garage that's not attached. I understand that. Ours is actually attached to our house.
So Stephen Rapp says, Justin, are you generally thinking you're getting the ZR1? Honestly, I don't. I don't think I'm going to. But it depends on the price. I have it in my head that the price is going to be higher than most people think. So if I'm right, I'm probably going to pass. But we'll see.
Could you imagine a C8 ZR1, a C7 ZR1, and maybe at that point when it comes out, the C8 Z06 might be paid off. So would you keep it?
No.
You would definitely still get rid of this. Okay. I guess that would be like keeping a Z06,
I would not keep
C7,
no.
and getting a ZR1. I get it.
So Stephen, that's heavily dependent on price. I'll let you know.
All right. So Matt Hurley says he has a camera in his garage.
Joe has a camera.
Does. Okay.
Matt does.
Stephen Rapp. All right.
Does.
I guess it's not
Cool Dad stuff. I have a camera.
All right. Fair enough.
I don't think there's many car guys out there that wouldn't put a camera in their garage. And yeah, Bill, it's a baby monitor.
Oh my
yeah, it's
God.
not a camera, it's a baby monitor.
Kind of like he made me do this baby thing on that reel.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
The Corvette
God,
giving birth,
I was so embarrassed.
Stephen, I have, but they didn't want to. Basically, they already had 3 people on a list for a ZR1, and I would have to be number 1, or I'm not. It wouldn't even be worth it.
Darren, you look at yours daily. He looks at his maybe
hourly.
Maybe.
I looked at it twice in the hour that we've been on here. So that should tell you all you need to know.
Very true.
All right, so last bit of news here, guys. This is the thing that you guys all clicked on this particular video for. I'm going to talk about this relatively quickly because there's not a lot to discuss here, but you guys have probably remember whenever they were talking about the Corvette, the C8 Corvette ZR1, and the fact that it was not going to be a limited car. It wasn't going to be limited to any degree. GM has recently come out and said that it is actually going to be limited to some degree. And this is what we're going to talk about right now. The ZR1 possibly being a limited production, but not for the reason you think. So over at the GM Authority website, they actually released this article that says how limited C8 Corvette ZR1 production will be according to the Chevy marketing. So as we scroll down through here, there's not really a lot to read here. The most important part is right here where it says, I can't really give you numbers, but I can say that it will be limited, though not necessarily like we're limiting it to a number. This is Harlan Charles that said that. It will be limited by the components and the supply that we have. So this is kind of like where we're at with the C8 in general. The C8 Corvette has been limited to some degree because of their inability to get parts. Now, the C8 ZR1 is going to have the same limit. It's going to be limited because it's carbon fiber. All of the parts in this car are carbon fiber. You don't get an option for carbon flash.
So do you think it's going to be a 1-year car like the C7 ZR1 was? Was the C6 ZR1 a 1-year car?
No.
So wonder what made the C7 only a 1-year car.
They probably never intended it to be.
Huh.
But if you guys look at the images here, the biggest thing that's going to limit the availability of this car is the fact that it's carbon fiber no matter which one you get. If you get the ZTK package, carbon fiber. If you get the non-ZTK, carbon fiber. That boomerang we're looking at on the side, the new design boomerang, that is always carbon fiber. There's no way around it. There is no carbon flash option. So take a guess where the limiting parts are going to be for the ZR1. Take just a crazy stab in the dark. What part is going to limit the production of this car? I don't know, probably carbon fiber, and that's what it's going to be. The carbon fiber options on this car, which aren't really options, they're part of the car. That's what's going to limit the production of this car. Now, I had a pretty good feeling that GM was going to limit the production of this car, but not by saying, oh, we're only making 5,000. I had a feeling they were going to do it with the price, because if they come out and say, yeah, this car is going to start at $199, right there, you have just cut 50% of the people that normally buy Corvettes right off the list. They're not going to pay that for a Corvette. So that limits production. That limits how many they have to make, because they don't have to make 100% of these anymore. They only have to make 50 now. On top of that, now we have carbon fiber that's guaranteed to be a constraint of some kind, and it won't be listed as a constraint because it's part of the car. It's not an option. So it literally just won't be built. They can't build these cars without the carbon fiber parts. And we all know they've had a lot of problems getting carbon fiber for these cars. So there it is. That's where your limit is going to be.
So Mark Surge has a question. What would be the highest price you're willing to pay for all the options you want to get a ZR1? I think you've said this before. What'd you say, 250?
230.
Oh, 230?
Yeah, so 230 would be as high as I'd want to go. Seawolf Seawolf06 says, newsflash, another YouTuber will be doing a segment on the limited availability of the ZR1 in the next couple of hours. I'm not going to get into too much of this. If you know, you know. Let's see. Red C8 Z06 says stocks Z06 side skirts are painted carbon flash, but are not CF. Actually, they are CF, depending. If you get the carbon fiber kit on the build. Let me think.
Yeah, Lego D7 brown carbon fiber. You're right. That seems to be what GM's is.
So Red C8 Z06, if you choose a Z06 car as it comes, you don't add the front splitter. You get plastic side skirts that are carbon flash painted. If you choose a front splitter, it immediately changes your side skirts to carbon fiber that are painted carbon flash if you choose the carbon flash option. They are two different side skirts. I can verify that because I had carbon fiber ones on my car, and I've seen them from the Z06 where they're not carbon fiber. Yeah, the brown carbon fiber is I'm not a big fan. I really don't like the look of that, and I really wish GM would stop doing that. And I feel like they're doing it on purpose. I've had some conversations with some of my subscribers off of YouTube here. I feel like they do it on purpose so you can't match their carbon fiber weave with aftermarket carbon.
So you just have to pretty much change it all.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Honestly, it's what I would do. If I were to buy a C8 Z06 tomorrow with the Z07 package, I would immediately come home, take it all off, replace all of it with RSC carbon fiber, and sell the stock stuff, because the brown just does not do it for me. Guys, we got 182 people watching. We got 170 thumbs ups. That's still a little bit of a discrepancy. Let's smash 12 more thumbs ups.
So somebody's willing to go 250 for the ZR1.
I'm at 230.
Ooh.
Robert. Honestly, even at 230, it is crazy. That's a crazy amount of price for a car. But Chili Pepper says, Justin, if the price is right but no ZTK, do you get it? Absolutely not. That car.
So this has to have a ZTK.
This car has to have a ZTK because the non-ZTK car has a much different suspension, and I want the stiffer suspension. I want the big wing. I want all of it this time. I'm not gonna settle for something that I didn't want.
Your C7 ZR1 is ZTK.
Right.
High wing, that was all stock.
Yeah.
That was like a rare find. There was 3 or something in the whole United States when we found that. And we had to jump on it immediately the next day, because I remember it was after hours.
Lewis says, no problem for me. I'll keep the extra money and do some mods to my C8 Z06. And that's the thing, guys. I've said this in a video before. If I can't get the C8 ZR1, if the price isn't right, I'm not going to cry myself to sleep. I have a beautiful C8 Z06 and I am thrilled with that car. I do not need the ZR1. If the price is right, however, I will gladly take a ZR1.
You've done so much work to that C8 Z06.
I have.
You've put so many visits to certain places to get mods, and I don't know. There's just a lot of time spent on that thing to just trade it.
Yep.
You know. Oh, that's probably true. It's the clear coat they put on it.
Yeah, that's what they say. But I'll be honest with you. I have had now my carbon fiber on my car from Segala for a year. It has not turned any different colors, nor has it started to chip or anything. I've had carbon fiber in my engine bay, which gets really hot on the C8 Z06, from Extreme Online Store for about 8 months. Hasn't turned brown, hasn't done anything weird. Whatever it is that they're putting on that does not need to be there. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or where the problem is, or if it's in their UV protectant, in their gel coat, clear coat, whatever. Whatever they're doing does not have to do that.
Bill Miller, do I hear 250? Do I hear 260?
Darren, so it's not that it will brown. It doesn't necessarily get more brown over time. If you take your side skirt on that ZR1 and set it next to an aftermarket carbon fiber side skirt, your carbon has a brown tint to it.
There's more gray in the aftermarket.
The aftermarket is either gray or black. Yours will have a brown tint. It doesn't. It's not that it will get worse over time. It doesn't necessarily get worse, but it just right off the bat it has a brown tint. 260. Yeah.
Ouch.
Aftermarket is loving that position. Yeah, I'm sure they are. And I'll tell you what, I wish, even on my C7 ZR1, that's all factory carbon fiber. And Amber asked me the other day, she's like, how come you haven't put more carbon fiber on that? I said, I can't. I can't match their carbon fiber. So if I put aftermarket carbon fiber on my ZR1, it makes it all look even more brown than it does now.
Plus the hood scoop, you just can't take that off. There's a piece that's actually built into the hood.
Well, no, I could
still. You'd have to ship the hood somewhere.
I could do all of that if somebody made it, but no one makes it.
You said you can take it to somebody in Florida
to fix that, but let's see. ZTK package will be close to $300K when it's all said and done. If you factor in markups, you're probably right. But I never factor in markups because that you're all over the map if you do that. Dang, holy, he says, dang, in Canada, I paid $250K for my Z06 all in, and that was at MSRP.
God. Could you imagine what a ZR1 is going to be?
It's going to be easily $350. It's going to easily be $100,000 more.
Yeah, but he's got such a beautiful, the Seawolf that's a really nice
It is a nice car. And actually, I didn't see in here, are your calipers torch red? I'm pretty sure they are. I didn't see if you verified that for me or not.
Yeah, it's a nice color, Seawolf.
Yeah, DeVarius, I agree, go all out for the ZR1. And that's the big thing for me. Is like I was willing to get less with the Z06 because I knew I could add it afterwards. But the ZR1 is a different car. That's not one that you add stuff like I have to the Z06. That's the one you get the way you want it and then tweak it, you know. So again, guys, real quick, we kind of covered all the information here, but I want to mention again, anybody who is new coming in here, this is the giveaway for tonight. These are the C8 Rally Driver hatch supports for the C8 Corvette. So Z06, ZR1, E-Ray, if you have a ZR1 somehow already, E-Ray, Stingray, it'll fit all of them as long as it's a coupe. These are roughly $400 from the manufacturer. You can win them tonight for about $10. Every $10 is a donation. As the donation is an entry. Every $50 is double entry. So if you guys are interested in these, they will be given away next Monday night. I will choose the winner, and this is just a placeholder. You can choose whatever color you want. This is just me showing you what these look like. The part will actually ship directly from C8 Rally Driver if you are a winner. So, again, the Venmo link is pinned at the top of the chat. Oh, I missed... Gordon gave $100, so he gets 20 entries.
Let me get that in there.
I did not see that come in, Gordon. I apologize. If you're still in here, Gordon donated $100 to this.
Thank you, Gordon.
So he gets 20 entries. Thank you, Gordon. That was the biggest entry tonight. So, Guys, Gordon and Nate are the two biggest entries of the night, and they're very likely to win at this point.
And so is Poke Ref. He donated 50.
Oh yeah, Pokey.
Yep.
So we actually got a pretty good number here. Now, guys, like I said, I'm going to be continuing giveaways from here forward. We kind of got away from them for a little while, but I'm going to jump back into them because we're going to have a lot of really cool stuff coming up. So, yeah.
More than likely, they're going to run though 2 weeks instead of weekly.
2 weeks at least, because they're going to be bigger items. Dave said, "Are you staying with coupe or going with an HTC?" I am a coupe guy all day long.
Not do hard.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the convertible. Now, I'll be honest with you. The C8 Corvette is the first time that I've even entertained the idea of getting a convertible because of the hardtop option. I'm not a convertible guy, but the hardtop convertible is an attractive option. So if you guys decide you want a convertible over the coupe, I totally understand. And I'm not that far from doing that myself, but I can't do it. Seawolf says, "Great job again. Thanks again, Justin and Amber." Guys, we hit 180 thumbs ups. All right, so we actually got pretty close tonight. If you can, please smash the thumbs up button. If you're interested in the giveaway, it does not stop just because the live video is done. If you donate via Venmo, anywhere between now and next week, you'll still be entered to win a set of these. So don't hesitate to continue donating. Just let me know in the comment when you donate. This is for the giveaway, and I'll make sure you are counted in. But guys, I appreciate all the support tonight. Jose's going to do a hardtop convertible ZR1. Nice. Who gets? Are you going to keep your twin turbo Z06 then, Jose? If not, who's buying it? That's a good question. Fast Eddie says Zora will be a box checked option. I totally agree. I'm actually one of the very first ones that discussed that. And as far as I can recall, I'm the very first one, period, that talked about that. Right here on the live video, actually. I mentioned it one day just as like kind of a joke. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, I think that might actually be the case. But anyway, guys, I love the support tonight. You guys have been great. Check out the giveaway. Check out all the links in the description down below. Make sure you check out NCM Insurance. Get entered to win some C8 ZR1s. If you send any donations for the Hatch support, you will still be entered. They will be given away next Monday night at the end of the show. I appreciate you guys being here. You guys, big thank you to Amber for joining us and Onyx both. Without them, it's not possible. Anyway, guys, smash the thumbs up button if you could, please. And we will see you guys all same time, same place, next Monday night.
Good night.
See you guys.
Stay obsessed.